So the second option, which is bringing it in-house and hiring your own in-house photographer or videographer, and I think a few agents are considering it, but they haven't gotten any idea as to who they should hire, what they should be looking at.
Well, I think there are multiple options, of course, available here. I would probably look for somebody relatively young, maybe not necessarily starting out, but somebody who's got a foot in the game. And I say that because the issue often is if you want an experienced, established photographers, you'll find that they are usually much more interested in continuing working freelance than setting up as a staff photographer with, you know, a monthly salary. So maybe get somebody young. Whatever equipment they have, you might supplement the equipment that they need with some staff equipment that you acquire for them. Depends what they bring in. But you want somebody who's got a body of work that you can assess, who knows how to get their vertical straight, who knows how to operate lighting, who knows how to operate the major post-processing softwares, both for video and photography. You definitely want to see a body of work that is related to real estate or property photography, because otherwise it would be as if somebody was trying to assess if I would be a good wedding photographer, which I wouldn't, and that's why I wouldn't be showing a good body of work for that. So you do want to see that there's a track record, that they know what they're doing, and you may even reach out to an established photographer that you have a good relationship with, who wouldn't be interested in working as a staff photographer, but that you can consult with, and have them help you assess the quality of work.
So how do you feel as a professional photographer about agencies hiring in-house? Is that taking work from you, or do you welcome it? What's your view on it as a...
No, I think there's plenty of work, and in fact, for an agent or for a company that has sufficient volume, I would definitely advocate getting an in-house photographer, because that will allow them to send that photographer out to cover a lot of the, you know, high volume, low value sort of properties, you know, all those flats and duplexes and penthouses and smaller properties, older properties that do need to get photographed, but it would be too expensive to bring someone in for all of them. You would cover that very easily. Now, if you bring in a photographer that has decent skills to cover adequately all of those sorts of properties, the volume properties, then what you can always do when you get into one of these multi-million listings, or tens of million listings, for those particular properties, why not bring in a seasoned photographer to shoot those?
Okay.
And up the game for those particularly, even though you do have the staff photographer, but on an ad hoc basis bring in somebody who will bring up the level of the game.
So your message then would, or your advice would be that if you're an agency that moves in the high end as well as the middle or end of it,
Yeah.
that if you do have an in-house person, don't think that that's the end of the story. You're paying your in-house guy. It would be a waste of money. They must be doing something wrong if you get somebody more professional externally
Absolutely
to do the
not.
higher value properties.
Yes.
It's perfectly acceptable. It's no insult on the on the abilities of the person that you have in-house, and it's not wasting money, and it's not that you did a bad recruit.
No.
I understand this correct?
It's about tiering your supplier base as you would if you're, let's say you're a builder and you construct, you're reforming a flat. Well, you're going to have some basic electrical appliances in there. You bring in a run-of-the-gun, a run-of-the-mill electrician, and you do that. But if you're building a multi-million property in La Sagaleta and you want to complete the domotic system for that property, you bring in a different type of firm to do those sorts of jobs. Photography is the same. It's quite reasonable to be working with tiered level of photography, where you bring in a different photographer depending on what the job is.